Hi folks, today what I want to do, I want to show you the thought behind the process, the thought behind the shot. Just to give you a bit of context, last night there was a big storm cooking in the sky not far from where I live. So it was around 8:30 and we decided to head out to the marina not far from here. And I had in mind exactly what I wanted. I wanted to make a black and white of the water hitting the rocks with the black sky, the heavy cloud. It was like anyway, you'll see in the picture. And now I want to go through in Lightroom and stylize my final image into On1 software. It's called On1 Raw 2019. And I also want to make a comparison with Capture One Pro 12. And together, as we go through, we're going to discover how much we can push with these software, these image. But first thing first is the thought behind the shot. I had something, a vision in advance to create this shot. So we're going to learn how it works into the software. And let me know if this is something of an interest to you. I'll make more of these, go through the setting in different software. But today is more about a workflow to come to, a nice shot at the end of the day. And on another note, please continue supporting my channel, continue subscribing if you haven't done so yet. Hit the button at the bottom, and at the end of this month there'll be some giveaway. Make sure to stay tuned because there'll be some stuff coming your way. No matter where you live in the world, I'll be shipping some nice print over to you folks. So all that to say, let's dive in the system and we'll come back for our final thought. So let's dive into Lightroom. So I got Lightroom here, and I already imported the image. So I take for granted that the audience here know how to use Lightroom, how to import your image, how to categorize, filter, and all of this. This is not a tutorial how to use Lightroom. It's the thought behind the process. So this is the shot I took last night. As you can see, I did a very, very long exposure. If I'm not mistaken, this was 91 second. So this is a 91 second. It's a minute and a half. Basically at f16, I had my 45 millimeters on, and it's my GFX50r. So f16, and my ISO was at 100. So my thought, my process, I want this to become a black and white. So what do I do? First off, I know the horizon is not quite straight. So let's straighten the horizon line. So let's start with this. There we go. Hit OK. I like that. Now it makes sense, right? Then I go to my profile. Adobe provide us some recently different version, different profile than before. So I usually start with landscape. It looks better like this, but often I intend to, because I own the Fuji 50R, I tend to go in the this menu here and camera matching. I have 14 different profile I can use, from black and white to different color one. I want to make a black and white, but I'm not going to use Lightroom to make my black and white. I can go, this is out of the box Fuji Acros, green, red filter, and then I have the yellow filter. They all have different little setting, they look different. What I want the best color rendition I can get from the camera. So I usually start with Astia Soft. Then when I'm done, I close this little window. It's underexposed, the white balance is not right, so I'll click my white balance and then click somewhere where the RGB pretty even like this. Then I go from there. So now my exposure. Let's fix the exposure right away. I can go and punch everything, or I can also just do part of it, which I think I'll tend to do, because this part is pretty dark. So I'll use the just a regular, like this. I'll use this little tool here, so the gradient. I'll go sideways and I'll just add a bit more to it. Not much, just a tad more. Maybe some texture, make it pop a bit more, and I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Now I'm going to work on the rocks. I want the highlight on the rock to show a bit more. So basically dodge lightning. So I got a bunch more here. I'm just going to brush away the edge of the rock, you know, here, just there. You get the idea. Make it more, you know. There we go. Just like that. This edge here. Make it more stand out a bit. Just you'll see later where I'm going with this. The surface of the rock. Here we go. Here. I like here, like this rock. Of course, I had to mess it up. Remove some of the. There we go. All right. Now look at this. I said to myself, did I did enough in Lightroom? I could probably inject more brightness in the shade, bring down the highlight a little tad, more contrast like this, you know, more overall texture. I like the new tool texture compared to clarity. I know I'm going for black and white. I can punch a bit more vibrance in there. I'm not going to touch any of this. This is all going to be done on one software. So I'm ready to go. Edit in the effect module on one effect 2019. I'm going to pick PSD. I'm going to pick Pro Photo because this is the color profile, the Lightroom. I work with Lightroom. We'll stick with that profile for on one 2019. Sorry if you hear my computer fan in the back. Just got a new Dell computer. Very powerful, very fast, but the fan is very noisy. So there is a way to tone down the fan. Fortunately, it will slow down the machine. So anyway, hopefully at one point. So this is the interface. This is on one Photo Raw 2019, as you can see. It's pretty powerful. Again, I would like to make a video on how to use on one, because it's a very powerful software. And some of you are asking, can I just use on one? Yes, you can use on one. You don't need Lightroom. You don't need Photoshop. You can do anything you do all in on one. But I only use on one to stylize my photo. So one photo, one texture, one should I say one style that I like, I find it here in the black and white preset. And if I hit that little button and maximize the window, I get different views. So I got automatic here, automagic, sorry, Bogart, cool. I like the Bogart one here, this warm, but this is not the one I'm looking for at the moment. I want something more grungy. I want something more dramatic. And I know there's one here for you folks who remember old actors like Ingrid Bergman, I think was her name, not too sure. I like this. Of course it's too dark, but it's a start. So let's start with this. So this is my black and white. Off the bat right now, this is way too dark. So how can I, you know, eliminate some of the effect that in there that I don't like? Well, these little blue dot there, like the glow, I don't like. I don't like the glow, what it does, and you'll see when I turn it off, boom, better, much better. You know, this is what I'm looking for. The vignette, way too strong. Again, boom, no more vignette. So you can see I can adjust any of these by playing with the slider, turning it off. I will tone down this guy here. This is, you know, look at that. Tone and answer. I will bring it down about there. Bang. I like this. This is a good start for me. Now I built on this. What can I do more than, you know, well, let's pick a filter. I said I like grungy, dynamic, so let's go for something grunge. There is actually a filter called grunge, so why not? It made it even more dark, which I like. I like that. But let's play with the slider. Let's enhance this and turn down the amount and bring more detail. There you go. See what I'm doing here? Now, earlier in Lightroom, when I brush when I brush these rocks with my brush to make it, you know, more stand out, is to give more depth, more dynamic into the shot. So that's the reason for. Now I'm pretty happy with this. Actually, I'm gonna add a vignette on top of this, but it won't be a strong, like, I like big softy, but it'll be something like either subtle, something like this, and I can actually make it a tad brighter or even tad darker, you know, and I can feather even more, feather less, even more, like this. I can make it round, square, rounder, like this. I like what I have here. It's pretty dark, pretty aggressive looking, but I like it. This is what I was looking for. What I can do is to bring back everything a little tad. Like if I slide this guy here, the opacity of the whole process, not just the vignette, but the whole process, I can bring it down and, you know, feel more happy with this too. Now, I can save this setting. That's the thing. I can save this setting. So basically, save setting as preset, and I'm going to name it Bernard black and white, and it's an effect. I'm going to go pick a category here. Sorry. Actually, I'm going to create my category, right? And there you go. Put it in my category. Bang. So the next time, there's my preset right here. All I need to do, next photo, bring in next photo, just click once there, apply it, done, and then click done. So this is a round trip into On1 Photo Raw 2019. Now Photo Raw is saving a duplicate of my image into Lightroom. So my first image I had in Lightroom is still there. I haven't touched that. So this is all raw editing, so it's non-destructive. So look at this, folks. What do you think? This is the black and white, and this is the color. Black and white, color. Black and white, color. You know what I like in Lightroom? Is the ability to zoom in really quickly. But I see some color here. What happened? Well, in this case, all we can do, and there you go. Now everything's black and white. Now I want to do the same, use the same file into Capture One. This is last night. This is the other photos I took from last night. Let's go to the black and white. So this is the same image. So let's start the timer again. I'm in Capture One. I want to have close to the same result as this one. Maybe even better. I know I can do better with Capture One. That's the thing. I can do better in Capture One. So let's start by straightening the horizon. So we have the same type of tool here. So let's go. Okay, horizon straight. That's good. In Capture One, there is a profile for the Fuji. So basically, again, this is even more straightforward with the Fuji for the Fuji users, because we do have the ability, the possibility to basically use the same profile that I did in Lightroom, those 14 different profile set in the camera. And what I like about Capture One, it seems to be utilizing or mimicking the Fuji a bit better, straightforward. I like acros, always like that filter. I can go green, red, look at this one, probably, yeah, Astia. White balance, we're gonna pick about the same place. There we go. Then we're gonna go into exposure. We can crank it up a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. Preserve some of the highlight here. I like this eye dynamic range tool in Capture One. I mean, yeah, Capture One. Then I have the shadow. I can bring up the shadow, as you can see. Then I can play with the level. There we go. I can go about like this, so I don't lose any of the dark, too dark. There we go. Starting to look good. I can apply a curve in Luma. I like the Luma curve. They're non-destructive, so you can use it as your art content. Again, a nice little S curve. Don't lose any detail in the sky, not too much. What I like too, and this is Capture One, we have the capability of using layers, same as Photoshop. So let's use the layers. I have a paintbrush here, so I'll right click the size, I'll make it bigger. I want to make it softer, and again I can use any of these tools. So I want to make the rock brighter, darker. Actually, I just want to make it a bit lighter and go with my smaller brush and just hit the same spot I did when I, play with in Lightroom. All right. Now I'm getting ready to go black and white. So let's do that right away. So I'll go back to the process here. I can either go black and white here, this one click, black and white. I can play with the red. Look at the sky, it's changing. I can play with the yellow, if there's any yellow in the sky, there is. The green, so basically the background, I don't want to touch that. But like I said, I like the here the curve that are built in the software that mimics basically the one in my camera. So I like acros, so I'll go with acros. Good. Go back to the layer. I want to add another layer. I want to darken the sky. So again, let's make it like this. Go into my exposure. Just that. Comme ça. There we go. Darken the sky. And there we go. Like that. Make it more like this. I like this. I really like this. And also would like to have a vignette here. So layer, go to background layer, go to vignette. There we go. And I got another layer. And in this layer, instead of playing with the color, I'm gonna add a bit more clarity and a bit more structure onto my rock. Gonna make this bigger, and I'm gonna go at, here we go, full blast. There we go. I like that. Boom. So let's crank the clarity. I can crank all the way up, but I'm gonna Be careful here, don't crank it too much. This is all non-destructive. So you see, with the layer, I can apply some of the different setting that I have in the tools, which is very powerful. Preserve the highlight. I can inject more brightness in the shadow, just in the rocks where I painted. It's amazing software, amazing software. Now, I'm looking at this. I'm very happy with the result. I did one earlier. This is the one I did earlier. I like this one better that we just created together. I really like this one. So I'm going to give it a 5. And I'm going to export this. The thing, you can save your process recipe. And I have one made for Flickr. So if you want to go on my Flickr account, there's a link down below. Go check those images. You can even download them if you want, but you can look at them closely. This one and the one I did in Lightroom, they're both going to be into basically my my Flickr account. So this is Capture One, this is Lightroom, but with Lightroom I went through on one software. If you look at both image, which one you prefer the most, which one you like the most? For me, this is the winner for me. I really like how I can manipulate an image into Capture One much faster than into Lightroom, and then going to on one and coming back to Lightroom. I can probably do something similar or like this all in Lightroom. About the same detail here. I find Capture One, I find that Capture One preserves the detail better. It does a better job at the structure. I find Capture One does a better job at rendering colors, black and white, easier to work with. If you're familiar with layers like we use in Photoshop, you'll be much comfortable also in Capture One. I mean, if I look at this rock and I look at this rock here, they're the same rock. One was processed in Lightroom, one was processed into Capture One. So yeah, so make up your own decision. Please write in the comment below which one you prefer, which one you like better. But this is the process. Please subscribe. And if you want this picture, I can print this picture. I can print this picture and send it to you. At the end of the month, let me know. If we hit 100 subscriber on my channel, this picture, this photo can be yours to own. No matter where you live in the world, I'll be shipping it to you. So I don't know what you thought of this this process. It was for me, it's easy. I've been using Lightroom for a long time on one too. Maybe you wonder, why do I have so many software? Why do I bother? Because each software has its own strength. And for what I envision, sometime I know in my head, okay, I'll be better off going to Capture One to do this because I have this little tool, and I know the process can be easier for me in Capture One. Others, well, you know what, I better go in Lightroom because at the end of the day, I know exactly what Lightroom, how I can push Lightroom. Anyway, to my own knowledge, maybe I'm not knowledge enough, but anyway, I like dabbling in different software, and these are the results I get. So if you like this video, if you like to hear more about my process, other software that I use, please feel free. Down below, hit the bell, subscribe if you haven't done so, and until next time, keep shooting.